first first ever episode. Well, let me just start with, first of all, some of you know that in New Orleans it is the end of an era. Drew Brees will retire after the 2020 NFL playoffs. Now, question is, who will be the starter down there? Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill have to fight for it. But before we get too far into that, I figure I want to talk about the playoffs some. And in the Super Wild Card round, we have just give me 1 second. Yeah. Okay. So in the NFL playoffs, we have the Chiefs at the number 1 seat. We have the Bills at the number 2 seat. We got the Colts at the number 7. The Steelers at number 3. Browns at number 6. Titans at 4. Ravens at 5. Packers at 1. Saints at 2. Bears at 7. Seahawks at 3. Rams at 6. Washington at 4. And Buccaneers at 5. At the 5 seed, yeah. Okay, so okay, so now let's get a little bit farther in. So obviously the Chiefs and Packers, they get the first round bye. They don't have to play till the divisional round. But our first Super Wild Card game will start with the Bills at the Colts. My pick is in for the game winner, and I'm gonna say Josh Allen's going to get it done. He's going to beat Phillip Rivers and move on to the divisional round. What do you think there, Isaiah? Um, and then we got the Steelers and Browns, a big rivalry between those two teams. I'm going to say the Steelers, they're going to beat the Browns and get their revenge on Myles Garrett from last season. And they were 12-0, and then they lost a couple of games. And then up next we got and I totally agree with that. Up next though we got the Titans taking on the Ravens. Sorry Lamar Jackson, but your party's gonna be a little spoiled there. Derrick Henry, there's no way your defense is gonna stop him. And if they try, he'll just drop them like Josh Norman and that one Detroit Lion. So I'm gonna tell you, Lamar, you may be good on offense, but I would watch out for Derrick Henry when the Titans are on offense. And Ravens defense, look out, because Derrick Henry's coming for you. So that would mean the Chiefs would play the Bills in the first divisional round, at least in my predictions, and then the Steelers would be playing the Titans in the divisional round. Now, to make up the divisional round for the NFC, because that was for the AFC, obviously Packers got the first round bye. But Saints and Bears. Bears finished 9-7. The unlucky 9-7. They are gonna get breezed. That's for sure. For who? The Bears? Right now it's Mitch Trubisky, but for a while it was Nick Foles. Well, first of all, before I go any far, that you know what the Saints are thinking right now. They're like, "Yes, we don't have to play Minnesota in the playoffs, because Minnesota was mathematically eliminated from playoff contention back in the regular season. Alvin Kamara literally stomped on their Oreo cookies on that Christmas Day game. 6 touchdowns. The last time there was 6 rushing touchdowns by a halfback was 1929. And like I said, the Bears, they finished the unlucky 9-7. Had they kept Nick Foles, they could have probably went 12-3, at least. And let's just say though, the Saints are gonna stomp on their Oreos, and Breeze is just gonna blow them all away. And then you got the Seahawks taking on the Rams. The last time the Rams were in the playoffs was Super Bowl 53, only to lose by not 7 but 10 points. 13-3. That's like a field goal and then 2 touchdowns and a missed extra point. And here's the deal. Seattle is going to for sure spoil this for the Rams. Unless if Jared Goff and Aaron Donald continue to be dominant. That means Aaron Donald, he's going to have to sack Russell Wilson like every play to keep him out of the end zone. Because when Russell gets in the red zone, he's a threat. He's got DK Metcalf, and he's got Tyler Lockett. That's the other one. Yeah. And Chris Carson. If he gets in the red zone, he's going for a touchdown. So, I'm going to say the Seahawks will stomp on the Rams, but I'm not going to count the Rams out. Because Jared Goff did make Super Bowl 53. He could easily spoil it for the Seahawks and then spoil it in the divisional round, go all the way to the conference, spoil that for the team, whoever makes it, and go to the Super Bowl again and get his revenge. Now, Washington football team and Buccaneers. I don't know what the NFL was thinking. The Washington football team is 7-9. That's not even a playoff number or record. That's like taking the Lions and putting them in the playoffs when they're like 1-15. Sorry, but you're going to get Tom Brady for sure, Washington football team. Alex Smith is just not as good as the GOAT. He was better on the Chiefs. Ever since he left the Chiefs, he's been through almost a season ending and almost season ending for like or career ending is what I want to say, excuse me, uh, injury, which almost killed him due to an infection. And then he comes back and he goes 7-9 and somehow makes the playoffs. You're talking, like I said, you're talking like putting the Lions in the playoffs when they're like 1-15. That doesn't make sense. And like, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, 1-15. If you're new to football, that's 1 win and 15 losses. And there's 17 weeks in a football season, but the teams only play 16 because they get a bye week. Anyway, Buccaneers got it. So for the NFC for the divisional round, my prediction is Packers and Saints, and either Seahawks and the Buccaneers or the Rams and Buccaneers. I can't choose between the Seahawks and Rams because I can't count the Rams out. So that would be Chiefs, Bills, Steelers, Titans, Packers, Saints, Seahawks, Buccaneers, or Rams and Buccaneers. So, going on to the divisional round, starting next weekend. Like I said, first game for the AFC, you got the Chiefs taking on the Bills, because that's my prediction. On Cowboys. Okay, so here's the dilemma here. For the first divisional game for the AFC, you got the Chiefs and Bills because that was my prediction, right? But really, the Chiefs weren't the prediction because they already had the first round bye. I'm gonna say Mahomes. There's no way Josh Allen's gonna beat Mahomes. If he beats Mahomes, that's like Mike Tyson getting beat up by Stephen Curry. That And then for the second AFC game, so obviously Chiefs would win the divisional round. And for the second AFC divisional, we haven't got there yet. We haven't got there yet. We haven't got there yet. And the next AFC divisional round is the Steelers and Titans. Big Ben may have Juju and Claypool. I don't see him beating Derrick Henry and the Titans. But there's a rumor, though, that Big Ben may also retire at the end of the 2020 season. That is just a rumor. That has not been confirmed yet. But I gotta say, as much as I like Juju and the Steelers going to the Super Bowl, I don't see them beating the Titans in my prediction there. So obviously, yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Who should replace them? Um, so obviously, the Chiefs and the Titans would be moving on to the AFC Championship game. That would be a rematch from 2019-2020 season. So you got the Packers and Saints. Sorry, Drew Brees, but I gotta say, Aaron Rodgers may whoop you in that one. Like, so unfortunately, you would retire after the NFC divisional round because you would probably lose that one to the Packers. Now, let's say it was the Seahawks and Buccaneers for the other NFC divisional game. Easy Buccaneers. Because, like, I shouldn't say that entirely, because then again, once again, it could be either or. Because Tom Brady, he could always throw a game-costing interception again. Let's say that it's the Rams and Buccaneers. The Rams might blow Tom Brady out and get their revenge. They did it. They did it on a Monday Night Football game during the regular season. They got their revenge and sent Tom Brady home crying to his wife with his 6 Super Bowl rings. So, I'm going to say, Jared Goff, you got this, dude, in the NFC divisional if you make it. Now, obviously, that would put the Packers and Seahawks or the Buccaneers or Rams in the... Okay, let me just run a scenario. Rams and the Buccaneers in the divisional round. Rams beat the Buccaneers. So then you got the Packers and Rams in the NFC Championship game. Chiefs and Titans. Easy Mahomes. Come on. It's easy Mahomes there. Unless if Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill get it going on offense, it's easy Mahomes. Mahomes is in the Super Bowl. There you go, Chiefs fans. Once again, in a consecutive year. 2 consecutive years so far. Then you got the Packers and Rams. Aaron Rodgers. He's gonna simply shut Jared Goff out. So then you got the Chiefs and Packers in the Super Bowl, and the winner of the Super Bowl could be Mahomes and the Chiefs. But then again, if you got the Chiefs and Packers, based off of my prediction, Aaron Rodgers could easily bring home the Packers with another Super Bowl win. So, doing the whole bracket, what is your prediction there, Isaiah, for the Super Bowl? Starting at the wild card round and working your way all the way to the final game. Yeah, you can just look up a playoff bracket. That's what I did. Okay. So, yes, Mahomes has potential to beat Aaron Rodgers if they go to the Super Bowl together. But Aaron Rodgers, it's a 50-50, I'm going to say. Mahomes could do it. He could destroy Aaron Rodgers and be the next greatest MVP of the world. But Aaron Rodgers can be like, sorry, Mahomes, last time I caught you, you were monkey farting around on the sideline or out there on the field. So here you go. I'm going to spoil your chances at a championship in the 2nd year in a row, and we're bringing this back home to Green Bay. Man, wouldn't Vince Lombardi be proud if his trophy was brought back to Green Bay. And those of you who don't know this, Vince Lombardi coached in Green Bay. Also, I want to let you guys know this. Me and Isaiah are also going to be starting episodes on YouTube called Come On Man, just like the NFL does. And we're going to be doing it off the playoffs. So if there's any hiccups, you may see Jared Goff, come on, man. Really? Okay, so then in the AFC divisional round, in your prediction, it would be the Chiefs and Bills again, similar to mine, and then the Steelers. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, for the NFC now. So obviously Green Bay they have the bye, so they'll play whoever wins out of the Saints and Bears. Okay. Remember, I couldn't choose between the two, but eventually I just decided. Okay. Yep, and that makes up the divisional rounds for the NFC and AFC. So back over to AFC. Who's gonna make the conference championship out of the Chiefs and Bills? This sounds like a this sounds like a dumb question, but okay. So your AFC championship, exactly, and Saints. So then in your NFC conference championship, now this is the second to biggest game in America. Who is going to win out of the Chiefs and Ravens and go to Super Bowl 55 in Tampa Bay, Florida? So there you go. We got the Chiefs in Super Bowl 55 again. Mahomes, you better take notes, man. You better take notes. I think it was. So then your prediction would probably be the Chiefs and Packers. Okay, so starting with the Chiefs and Packers, who wins? The old man or the young gun? Okay, but who wins though? The goat or not the goat? The. There you go. There you go, Mahomes. You're the baby goat now. Okay, if it's the Chiefs and Buccaneers, does the baby goat win again, or does the goat win with his 6 Super Bowl rings that handed them to Baker Mayfield in that commercial and was like, "Hold these. I'm not even gonna go out here and throw the ball." Yeah, I think the Chiefs might be scrubbing Tom Brady's cleats after that game. I think it was. I think it was I can't remember. Oh, okay, so moving on from the playoffs now. Just so you guys know, let's talk the Broncos, where one game they literally had zero quarterbacks. They had to bring in a guy from a practice squad, and he couldn't even get the job done. This this is and that will be saved for our just trash moments of the season, so let's not get too far ahead yet. Um this is the Broncos' fifth season not making the playoffs since Peyton Manning left. If you guys saw that commercial and Peyton Manning's arm did not hurt, I would have seen him being like, "Nah, I'm pulling my cleats off the shelf. You guys stink. Let me do this job." I mean, Drew Lock, come on, man, you're nothing like a goat, dude. You got to you got to be putting up those points constantly, not giving up those points. So I mean that in the most respectful way to Drew Lock. I just gotta say that he needs to get better in the paint, is what they would call it in NBA. It's technically the red zone. He needs to get better in the red zone, and I feel like Drew Lock could be a great quarterback someday. There's just some things that he needs to fix. But, like I said, the Broncos also didn't have a chance in that game where they had zero quarterbacks because of the COVID reserve list. Hang on 1 second. I got one more thing to add. And then you got Marvin Jones Jr. from the Lions saying, "I don't want no more to do with this team. I want to trade for the Dolphins." In my opinion, that's the worst team you could go for. What makes you think you're going to do any better there than you are in Detroit? Literally, not even Tua could get it done. The Detroit's record was 6 wins, 10 losses. Now, the Dolphins, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, the Dolphins this season were excellent. 10-6. Unfortunately, they did not make the playoffs. If you don't make the playoffs, you're just not a good team. Even if simple, if Tom Brady didn't make the playoffs, you're not a good team that season to qualify for the playoffs. It doesn't matter if you have a 16-0 record or a 0-16 record. You don't make the playoffs, you're just not a good team that season. I bet you half those teams. And before we transition into NBA, let's talk about some NASCAR racing that's starting up on Valentine's Day with the 63rd running of the Great American Race. Obviously, they can't have everybody in the stands, so I would encourage everybody to get your tickets while there's spots available. If not, find someone that has a freaking private helicopter or something. I don't know. Or just stay home and watch on TV and nobody go. That would be the safer way to approach things. But oh, by the way, did you see that I named it Undisputed after our names? Yeah. Okay. So back to the topic about the Great American Race. Who wins the Great American Race this year? Denny Hamlin has won it in 2019 and 2020. Who is going to win it in 2021? Will Denny have his cake and eat it too? Or will another driver be like, nah, Denny, nah, you ain't getting this year? What do you think? Yeah. So, I'm thinking what's gonna happen. I'm thinking, I'm thinking what, I'm thinking what's gonna happen is one driver in particular, and I'll say his name in just a minute, is gonna get his revenge and say, nah, Denny, you took this from me last season because something happened. You're not getting it this season. That particular yeah, because he totally drives NASCARs. Um, that particular that particular driver, Ryan Newman. I think Ryan Newman's gonna win the Great American Race. Whatever one's better. Whatever one's better than the other. Okay, so let's talk about the NHL real quick. We still gotta get to NBA. We'll get to that in just a sec. I gotta talk about the upcoming things real quick. And like I said, Ryan Newman, he has the potential. He almost did it in 2020. And then Ryan Blaney, in my opinion, decides to go low on him, forcing him to block. And Ryan Blaney did not leave enough clearance between him and Ryan Newman and ended up turning him. I'm not saying he did it on purpose. I'm saying he just failed to leave enough clearance between them. He should have waited at least to go low and then try to dive on the inside and pass him instead of just dive low, forcing him to block immediately and forcing him into trouble. Now, I think that Ryan Blaney, after Ryan Newman wrecked, I think Ryan Blaney should have taken the race because Ryan Blaney was so close. Even at Talladega, I think Ricky Stenhouse Jr. should have won that race. He was really up there and almost won that thing. Even in the fall Talladega race, Matt DiBenedetto should have won that. And, okay, NHL. The regular season starts in 5 days. Who's going to win next? So, yes. So, it starts in I I have a feeling that the Red Wings are going to go 13 and how many games are in the season? Okay, well we'll just say 13 and 50. I feel like we should know this, everybody, because we watch hockey, but who cares? Um, so I was gonna say the Red Wings not gonna be good. They're not gonna change. Same as the Lions, and so I'm guessing you have to be what 45 and 45 to make the playoffs. All right, let's get to some NBA. We're gonna talk about scores from Thursday, January 7th. Well, let's just say the Spurs decided to say, nah, nah, King James, you're out of here. Um, no, I did not. And, well, actually, as soon as I learn more about that death threat, I'll get you guys some coverage if you want to know. Um, I'll also try to figure out when Kawhi will have his mask off so his friends on the LA Clippers will stop calling him Leatherface. And to everybody on the Clippers, I just gotta say, you gotta blame Ibaka for him wearing the mask. So in reality, you should be looking at Ibaka being like, what the sand heck, man? You know it'd be so. Let's get back to me talking. The Spurs are like, man, we probably gonna walking in. The Spurs probably like, man, we're probably gonna lose this game. We should just forfeit. After 4 quarters, they for sure prove themselves wrong. 118 to 109. The Spurs are 4-4. 4 wins, 4 losses with that. The Lakers, 6 wins, 3 losses. That's literally going into week 10 of an NFL season. Now, let's move on to the 76ers and Nets, and let's just say the Nets have shut down the 76ers. Joel Embiid is probably like, what happened in this game? Moving on. Cavaliers and Grizzlies. Nine. $94-90 between the Cavaliers and Grizzlies. The Cavaliers are 5-4. The Grizzlies 2-6. 2-6. The Mavericks got Seth Curry, and Seth Curry was victorious, forcing a 124 to 117 win over the 3-5 Nuggets. Yes, you heard me right. 3-5 Nuggets. It took overtime to end that one between the Mavericks and Nuggets. Timberwolves and the Trailblazers proved that prove the trail. Anyway, the Trailblazers prove they can get it done without Seth Curry. Now, tonight, 8 p.m., you got the Jazz and Bucks. Come on now, Bucks. Seth Curry's on the Mavericks. Clippers and Warriors. I may be a Warriors fan, but I'm thinking we're going to get smoked. Okay. So, moving on to the Bulls and Lakers. The Lakers are going to walk in, they're going to win, they're going to be like, what Bulls do you guys got? I don't see any. Now, moving on, we got the Suns and Pistons. Come on, Devin Booker. Celtics and Wizards. Gotta go with the Celtics, I'm guessing, because they're 6-3. Um, that's not yet. That's after the Hornets and Pelicans, which is the next one. Hornets and Pelicans. Um, Pelicans. Yours is probably yours is probably going in order. That's probably why mine's not. Um, Thunder and Knicks. Thunder, because I want to be 100% honest. The Knicks have just proved that they joined our just trash list that we do at the end of the show. They may be 5-3. Yeah, but we all know the Knicks have joined the just trash list. For now, until they prove themselves. For now. Well, they joined our just trash list because we kind of just started this today. Magic and Rockets. Come on, James Harden is going to win that one. Nets and Grizzlies. Boom. Nets are going to smoke the Grizzlies. Raptors and Kings. Oh, this is a tough one. That would put the Grizzlies at 3-6. Like I said, that's going into week 10 of an NFL season. I mean, you probably don't want to be 3-6 going into an week 10 of an NFL season. You probably would want to be 6-3 or 9-0, but Raptors and Kings. I'm gonna say Kings. I don't really know out of that one. Yeah. Okay, and going back to the NFL is going to broadcast the Bears and Saints on Nickelodeon on Sunday on Nickelodeon. And every time a touchdown is scored, SpongeBob and Patrick are going to yell, "Touchdown!" Not like that, but Think about it. Touchdown on the floor. Okay? SpongeBob and Patrick are going to yell, touchdown. Squidward is going to be so annoyed. Well, actually, I read about it, and it's actually quite interesting, and I would hope to see more games on Nickelodeon. Because, listen, they're doing it to catch the young viewers, like, to potentially get more fans. So I would hope that in the future, they would maybe put, like, maybe add a day to the schedule and do Wednesday night football, put that on Nickelodeon. And then turn around the next night, do Thursday night football on Fox. I'm gonna hold off. I know I said that I would hope they would put more games on Nickelodeon, but I'm gonna hold off until I see the scoreboard. If the scoreboard is pretty sick looking and it's like slime with like the teams and then the timer and timeouts and score and play clock on it, then yeah, I may say, yeah, we gotta put more games on Nickelodeon. But if it's just a lame scoreboard like a square into the top right of the screen, what even is that, bro? You know what I mean? So, yeah, until I see the scoreboard, or until I get the experience, I'm going to hold off for now. But I just thought I would share that the NFL is planning on putting a game on Nickelodeon. Alright, let's get back to the Drew Brees scenario. So he's retiring at the end of the 2020 NFL season. Who has a better chance at replacing him? Number 7 or number 2? 7 being Taysom Hill, 2 being Jameis Winston. I'm going to go with Taysom Hill. Because, come on, if Jameis Winston wasn't a good Buccaneer, what makes you think he's going to be a great starter for the Saints? Literally, the Saints are going to go like 5-3. That I know of. I could have grown more. Okay. Anyway, come on. If you start Jameis Winston on the New Orleans Saints, the New Orleans Saints are going to go 0-16. Because Jameis Winston's going to throw to the wrong colored shirts. Let's say the Saints are taking on the Lions and Jameis Winston starts. The Lions are finally going to win for the first time in forever against the Saints. Just do 120 pounds. I don't know how. Just do whatever one you can go to, like the lowest. So, let's talk about Ohio State and the former Ohio State coach Urban Meyer. Now, as you can see, Thanksgiving weekend, just do 30 for me. Anyway, let's continue here. Oh, yeah, yeah. So anyway, what I was saying there was that the Ohio State. So right now in Ohio State, you guys know you got Justin Fields. The Lions have fired a head coach, Matthew Stafford, and not just the head coach. They proceeded to say, Bob Quinn, your job is no longer going to be available for you. Meaning, you're fired. The biggest curse word that can happen in all of everybody's career. You're fired. Exactly. Okay, let's not do that, because even though we are just joking, let's not do that. Yeah, but I don't know how to bleep out that stuff. Okay, anyway, continuing. Matthew Stafford is a good quarterback, but the Lions do not deserve him. Would you agree with me, Isaiah? Well, he's not a trash quarterback. He's just the Lions do not deserve him. Ever since making Super Bowl 51, I'm gotta say Matt Ryan's the worst quarterback. Anyway, what I was saying was he needs to go to a team different from the Lions. He could take himself down to New York Jets and finally make the Jets not trash. Um, but a potential quarterback to take over for Matthew Stafford, Justin Fields. A potential new head coach, Urban Meyer. Get the picture? Urban Meyer has won 3 national championships. Could he go to the Lions and get them their first Super Bowl? What the Lions need to do, if they don't get Urban Meyer or Justin Fields, they need to bring back Jim Caldwell. Detroit, if you're listening to this podcast, bring back Jim Caldwell. That was the worst decision ever to get rid of him. You literally made the playoffs with him. How are you going to fire him a year after that? And bring in Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia, excuse me, did not even know what he was doing. We need a Lions team like the Bills. The Bills make the playoffs. The Lions don't. If they get Urban Meyer and Justin Fields, could we go potentially? Could we turn that 6-10 season this year around and make it 10-6 next year, or even 11-5? To to bring back Jim Caldwell. He would put the team, his highest he's gone was 9-7. Could he come back bigger and says, look guys, it's playoffs and Super Bowl or no respect? What do you think? Talking about, I don't even know. I'll figure it out once we end. Talking about Big Ben and the Steelers. Let's say the Bills magically beat the Chiefs, which isn't gonna happen. Let's just be honest. It isn't gonna happen. And the Steelers whoop the Ravens, and then the Steelers and Bills go on to the championship round. I don't think Josh Allen's gonna be able to. He'll do good on not defense, or offense, but his defense ain't gonna be able to find Juju Smith-Schuster or Chase Claypool, with that matter. Literally, once those guys get the ball and are gone, they're gone. That's just it. They're pretty much a junior edition of Tyreek Hill, the cheetah. And you know, if the cheetah joined this live right now, he'd be like, "What, bro? What are you talking about, man?" So with that being said, what if the Bills and Steelers went to Super Bowl 55? The Steelers are still going to win and bring home the championship. I just do not see, if somehow Josh Allen magically makes it, I just do not see how he is going to pull off a Super Bowl victory. At least against a team like that. Now, let's say next year, the Chiefs get smoked and have the worst season ever each week, and like the Las Vegas Raiders come on, Derek Carr's not that good. Josh Allen could throw the ball once, and it'd be in the end zone for the touchdown. But playing a team like the Chiefs, sorry, but you're out after the divisional round if you win the wild card round. But I think Phillip Rivers could even smoke Josh Allen if you think about it. T.Y. Hilton, he's a better receiver than some of the receivers the Bills got. Stephon Diggs is about the only receiver that's good that the Bills have. Ever seen that miracle catch he caught in the Vikings and Saints game in the divisional round that one time and returned it for a touchdown and eliminated the Saints from the playoffs? Went all the way to the conference championship, and they were destroyed by the Eagles, I believe it was Super Bowl 52 playoffs, and were destroyed by the Eagles. And then the Patriots thought that was an easy win. They're like, yeah, we're going to get this one, baby. And the Eagles are like, no, you're not, because we're going to fly out of here and take that Vince Lombardi trophy with us. And that's exactly what they did. And then, after winning the Super Bowl that season, they're like, let's have sucky seasons these next couple of years. Carson Wentz, ever since returning from that, how many passes has he completed for touchdowns to make it in the playoffs? Probably less than 1,000. I mean, people are not going to remember Carson Wentz's name. But in the future, people is going to remember the name Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Phillip Rivers, if Phillip Rivers can get it done in the playoffs here. Maybe Josh Allen. Hang on, let me look at the playoffs bracket, because now I done forgot who's all in. They're going to remember Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, possibly Josh Allen. They're going to remember Drew Brees for sure. They'll definitely remember Nick Foles after that Super Bowl 52. They're going to remember Derrick Henry, and Ryan Tannehill. Maybe Baker Mayfield too. And Russell. They're definitely going to remember Russell Wilson. I don't think they're going to remember Jared Goff unless if he wins, like, at least if he proves himself and gets in the playoffs next year. Then I might say that they'll remember his name. In fact, we need to, me and you, Isaiah, we need to make sure we get into contact with the NFL, NASCAR, NBA, NHL, and stuff like that so we can put some highlights on here. Yeah, because eventually I want to put highlights of the game in the video. Probably when we get that garage we're talking about getting. And then invite over Skip and Shannon for their opinions as well. And Skip and Shannon, if you're watching this, you guys are fantastic, amazing, loved, all those things. We hope this channel progresses to be just like you guys. So, while he's off mic, let me just add, the Bills, this season at least, have zero chance of making the Super Bowl. Because let's say they do make it to the conference championship. If the team has a QB with the name Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, or Patrick Mahomes, well, probably not Patrick Mahomes because they'd have to beat Mahomes in order to get there, but still, we'll just say Drew Brees, Tom Brady, or Aaron Rodgers. Josh Allen's going to be walking out of there crying. He's going to get spanked so bad by those teams. Tom Brady's going to be laughing because he has 7 rings and 7 Lombardi trophies in his career. Because he would make the Super Bowl and possibly win depending on the team. But if that team was the Bills, so that way what I just said makes sense there. And then Stephon Diggs is gonna be like, I want to trade again. I don't want to play for this team anymore because they didn't make the Super Bowl. While Antonio Brown's gonna be like, I'm just getting started. Again, for the second time in the NFL. Josh Allen's gonna be like, and I'm just losing for the first time in my career. Yo, eventually I want to get a sponsor, dude, so bad. I would love to get paid just to roast NFL and sports players for like 3 hours a day, you know what I mean? Well, actually, let's go to NCAA basketball. There is 45 games today. Unfortunately, the Marquette and Villanova game will not be played. That is postponed. We got Purdue and Michigan State, and Michigan State's like, they're sitting there like, let's hope we hold on because we are 8-3. I'm gonna go to NCAA football because they're in the bowl games. Rose Bowl, Alabama took that one away from Notre Dame. 14-31 was the final there. College football playoff championship is played on 1/11, which is this month at 8 p.m. It's between Ohio State and Alabama. From the Boca Raton Bowl, we have BYU defeated UCF 23-49. La Lafayette in the First Responder Bowl versus UTSA, 31-24. Then you got Liberty University and Coastal probably Carolina, I'm guessing, in the Cure Bowl. They were defeated by Liberty University, 37-34 in overtime. Oklahoma State, Miami, and this is the Florida Miami NCAA football team in the Cheez-It Bowl was defeated 37-34. Texas in the however you say that Alamo Bowl defeated Colorado 55-23. But that's not it. In the Cotton Bowl, Florida loses to Oklahoma 55-20. In the Armed Forces Bowl, Mississippi State defeats Tulsa 26-28. In the Arizona Bowl, Ball State defeats San Jose State 34-13. In the Peach Bowl, Georgia beats Cincinnati 24-21. Citrus Bowl, Northwestern defeats Auburn 35-19. The Sugar Bowl, Ohio State defeats Clemson 49-28. In the Tax Slayer Bowl, North Carolina State, I'm guessing that is for NC State, loses 21-23 versus Kentucky. In the Outback Bowl, Mississippi defeats Indiana 26-20. In the Fiesta Bowl, give me 1 second. Okay, back to the Fiesta Bowl. Oregon loses to or not Ohio State, Iowa State, 34-17. In the Orange Bowl, which obviously was played down in Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Texas A&M defeated North Carolina 41-27. So there you have it. I mean, for the college football playoffs, I mean, the only game left is on January 11th, and that is going to be against obviously, it's going to be Alabama and Ohio State. Now, who wins? I'm going to go with Alabama also. So, that leaves Justin Fields heading into his rookie season of the NFL for whoever drafts him with his head hanging, wishing he had beat Alabama. Let's keep this in mind too. Alabama's 12-0 this season. Michigan State 2-5. So that's why Michigan State wasn't in the playoffs at all, for you guys wondering. They have and the difference between the NFL and college football. So with all that being said, Alabama is the national champion. And for those of you wondering, Joe Burrow will be returning next season, and so will Saquon Barkley. So those of you who are crying because they tore their ACLs, you can stop. They're returning. And if it cheers you up, go watch the Super Bowl commercial where they're all fighting over the golden football, and then you'll be happy again. Because at the end, Saquon literally hurdles this guy. Sarah loves 2929. I don't know. Somebody just followed me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram for sports. That's even more weird and unprofessional, but okay. Okay. And let's just make another couple more NASCAR statements. Clint Boyer has retired, as you guys know, along with Jimmy Johnson. He is in the Fox booth now. Jimmy Johnson is going to be in IndyCar. So Chase Briscoe will drive the number 14 for Stewart-Haas Racing. If you don't know who Chase Briscoe is, he was the driver of the number 98 in the 2020 Xfinity Series season. And then you got Alex Bowman taking over the 48 from Jimmy Johnson. Now you have now you have Anthony Alfredo taking over the 38 from John Hunter Nemechek, which, let's be honest, John Hunter Nemechek had joined our just trash list, for sure. Because, literally, he spun almost every single week. He even got stuck in the grass at the Charlotte Roval. John, man, if you come back to the Cup Series, you gotta work on keeping it straight and controlling the vehicle. You may be a rookie, well, we're a rookie at least, but keep in mind, rookies can succeed too. But like I said, the reason he's on our just trash list is because he literally keeps spinning out, doesn't win nothing. Um, you know, not even a non-points race. But you got Cole Custer stepping into the Cup Series for the first time. He wins Kentucky. Nobody thought that was gonna happen. Cole Custer took it 4 wide and won Kentucky. So, yeah, I mean, I just want to advertise for a minute, but, GTA 5 Live PD, for you fans, returns January 15th at 9 p.m., just like it did before. I was talking about the show I make on Fridays. Visit mypillow.com, people. And be sure, if you have a structured settlement and nudity, or just need cash now, you better call JG Wentworth. Otherwise, they will come to your house. They will come to your house while you're sleeping and put a bunch of money under your bed. Well, we got about 3 minutes left of this episode, so what do you want to add? We could talk about how many points LeBron is going to drop tonight. The Bulls. Okay, what do you think their field goal percentage is going to be? And our next episode of this, we will reflect on some of the players talking about the raid, and even Draymond Green's famous words of, "Stop calling it a riot, it's an act of terrorism." Hopefully, we'll be back tomorrow. Because I remember, I'm cutting it right now.